Fall also brings the UN world leaders over to New York City. President Trump preparing to address the UN General Assembly. That'll be on Tuesday as more U.S. allies, including the UK, Canada, Australia, all recognize the existence, get this, of a Palestinian state. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responding, saying the countries, quote, are giving a huge reward to terrorism. Anyone going to dispute that? Former Israeli ambassador to the U.S., Michael Oren, joins us now. Ambassador, your thoughts about the significance of this move?
Good morning, Brian. Always good to be with you. The move is anti-Israel, it's anti-Palestinian, and it's anti-American. It's anti-Israel, obviously, as the Prime Minister says. It's a reward for terror. This is a Palestinian state that doesn't recognize Israel, doesn't even recognize our right to exist, teaches its kids to kill Israelis, pays for murderers of Israelis in our jails. This is not a move toward peace. It's very, very anti-Israel, but it's also anti-Palestinian. Who's celebrating this? It's Hamas. And every time one of these countries recognizes a Palestinian state, Hamas's position at the negotiating table hardens. Hamas leaves the table. And that should tell you this. So this move by these countries will cost Palestinian lives. It's not going to end the war in Gaza. It's going to prolong the war in Gaza.
It's looking
anti-American.
True. It also kisses up to a group within their country that they let in, the Palestinians within their own country. And it's an homage to them. So you can kill 1,200 people and be rewarded with statehood. In 1933, the UN put the criteria for statehood. 4 elements: a permanent population, okay, defined territorial boundaries, not close, a government, and an ability to conduct international affairs. They don't have. They got 2 separate governments who hate each other, and one is a terrorist group, and the other one is just a corrupt organization living life in the West Bank. Here's our president.
You know a lot of my opinions, and remember this, you can't forget October 7th either. People are forgetting October 7th. They forget it too quickly. That was one of the worst days in world history. It was the most evil attack that I think you could really say babies were involved, little babies were involved, and having their heads chopped off and all of the things that took place. You can't forget that. I don't forget that. A lot of people do, but I don't.
So it is more, Ambassador, than just lip service. And we know that France, by declaring, giving Palestinian statehood and acknowledging it, that broke up the latest hostage deal because they said, wait a second, we have some leverage. But I understand there is some diplomatic advantages for the Palestinians with this, correct?
Well, it'll enable them to greater, basically sue us in international courts. They'll say that we're violating the territorial sovereignty of an independent state. And so that's why it's anti-Israel. But why is it anti-American? Not just Brian, not just because the President Trump says that he objects to it, but this is a violation of the Oslo Accords. The Oslo Accords were signed by a president of the United States, a Democratic president, Bill Clinton, back in 1993. And those accords state explicitly that the Palestinians cannot declare a state. So all of these presumptive allies of the United States are actually taking a move here, which is profoundly anti-American and against American foreign policy.
So they could have had Gaza, 97% of the West Bank and parts of Jerusalem. Yasser Arafat walked away from that deal. And now France and our so-called allies are trying to give him something that doesn't exist. Ambassador, I can only imagine your frustration, and it's all going to play out this week at the UN. Thanks so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.